The next book is called The Rithmatist, and it came out in 2015, and it is by Brandon Sanderson. A friend of mine told me that I might only like Brandon Sanderson's his children's novels, because I think I tried to read something else by him and I didn't particularly like it. Although Brandon Sanderson endorsed Dragon's Blade, which is now back on the list, by the way, and I am I like those books, so I don't know. Maybe it's just that I need books that have dragons. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what genres I like the best, but I can't seem to find any sort of pattern to the things that I like. Fantasy is definitely the overarching thingy thing, but I can't seem to find what subgenres of fantasy I like. I should try and figure that out. Anyway, so The Rhythmatist. It is fantasy, and I didn't want to reread the book. I just want to talk about it because maybe if I talk about it, it'll actually bring material to the second book, which is supposed to be coming out. I read why Brandon Sanderson hasn't published it yet. He said that it's going to involve Native American like traditions, so he's trying to be very sensitive with the way he writes the book, which I can respect that. I really, really want the second book to come out. Joel Saxon is going to a school for rhythmatics. Rhythmatics are people who can control chalklings. He can't because he missed his shot, but he's obsessed with the things. Children are disappearing. They're just out of thin air, and people think that it might be someone at the school. So Joel gets a chance to be retested, and he can't because someone attacks him, and he misses his shot a second time. But Joel can remember what the little chalklings that tried to attack him look like, because if you throw water on the motherfuckers, then they'll stop. But he is able to point out the person who did it, and then when they get rid of him and his chalklings, all of the missing people come back. So that's the basic gist of that story. Like, I love this book. I'm going to make a hearty attempt at Brandon Sanderson's high fantasy again. He's a competent author, so I don't know what it is about his high fantasy that I don't like. I think I like this book because it's kind of like, well, yeah, you got taken away to the fantasy land, but you're not fantastic, so what are you doing here? It's like if Harry was a squib. Like, could you imagine Harry Potter if Harry was a squib? He wouldn't be allowed. I don't know if he'd be allowed to go to the school unless he was there to replace Filch, which that would be ridiculous. But no, if Harry was a squib, he probably would have died when Voldemort did the thing. Um, yeah, I just I want this book finished because I need to know if my main man Joel ends up doing the chalk thing. I don't know if I want my main man Joel to end up doing the chalk thing, but like chalk, 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 chalk. Rudy's got the chalk. The next book is actually Petticoats and Piracy. The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. It's about Monty's sister Felicity. It's the second book in the Montague series. Felicity's a lot more serious than her brother in general, so I don't know if I would add the label of comedy to this book, but yeah. Felicity is working in a bake shop after countless attempts to try and get into medical school, but it is the 1700s, so women aren't allowed to do things like that. She has this boss. His name is Caleb. He wants to marry her, and she refuses. He thinks that he's saving her from herself, and my Felicity is like, I mean, it kind of sucks that I don't want that type of thing, but I can't do this. So she leaves Edinburgh and goes to where Monty and Percy are. Monty and Percy been fucking. It's pretty great. But so she goes there. She goes to St. Bart's to try and like petition them to listen to her and like do medical things, but they don't accept her. However, a person that she likes named Alexander Platt has recently lost his license and is getting married in Germany to a girl that she knows named Joanna. They used to be friends, but Felicity told Joanna that she did not want to suffer through any more of her contact after they had a fight. Felicity kind of, I don't think she means to, but she penalizes Joanna because Joanna likes pretty dresses but also has a brain, and Felicity acts like women like that can't exist, which is ridiculous. You can like nail polish but also enjoy, you can like red or pink nail polish actually, but also enjoy heavy metal music like I do. It just, I don't know. So Felicity doesn't have any money though, so how's she going to get to Germany? Well, there's this pirate girl named Sim. She decides that she's going to help Felicity get to Germany. So they go to Germany, and Felicity talks to Joanna. Joanna isn't hostile, even though Felicity's like, if I were you, I'd be super hostile based on how I treated you. But Joanna doesn't mind, so she and Felicity start to catch up. Sim tries to steal something from Joanna's house, and then Felicity is like, why did you bring this person here? Alexander Platt recognizes Felicity, but we don't know that yet. But he recognizes Felicity, and he decides to let her work for him. Joanna runs off the day of the night before their wedding. Felicity and Alexander are going to go find him, so they go to this hotel where they're supposed to have their honeymoon thing, and Felicity overhears Alexander talking about the fact that Monty and Felicity's dad told everybody that his kids had been kidnapped. So the plan is to find Joanna, get whatever he wants out of her, ransom Felicity, and yeah, that's the plan. Felicity goes and finds Joanna, and they realize that the reason that Alexander wants to marry Joanna is because Joanna's mother, who is dead, she had research that belongs solely to her, but Alexander helped her on the research, but Joanna cannot claim that research or like the property because she's a woman. Only a male dude can claim it. There's a lot of feminist tones in this book, so if you aren't ready for that, then don't read this book. But it was the 1700s in England. Of course there are going to be feminist tones because women couldn't do very much back then. But yeah, so I have skipped ahead in my notes because I remember this book because I literally like just read it. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's as good as Vice and Virtue or even Getting Lucky, but I guess we'll find out when Scandal and Shipwrecks comes out. That's the third one with their little brother. I can explain the premise of that book to you in a second. Sim also wants the research because she says that it belongs to her people and that Joanna's mother like stole it or whatever. There's creatures that they're calling dragons that Joanna's mother was like working with, but if that gets back to England, then the white people are going to come and mess up all of the research, and they're going to mess up the environment, and then the dragons are all going to go extinct, which they don't want. So yeah, also they decided that they're going to go to, why are we on a ship? They're going to go to Gibraltar so that they can like get back to Sim's people. They have the stuff, they just stole it. So yeah, but Platt finds them, and Monty comes and helps her, like pretending to like be in league with their dad. They go to Sim's pirate family and they're like, hey, here's the deal. We got to stop this dude because he's got the map. So yeah, there's a whole lot of shenanigans that go on. Platt is never going back to England, and Felicity decides that she wants to be a pirate. So basically, everything kind of works out for everyone because Monty and Percy were living in destitution. However, Joanna did technically end up marrying Platt, so she can go to England and claim all of her shit and like get her affairs in order. Monty will pretend to be her husband, watch over the house for her, and like also have the money now, but not like squander it because he's responsible now, and also get to have his lovely boy Percy. Felicity and Sim and Joanna are going to be pirate ladies, and they're going to be like Felicity gets to be the doctor she always wanted to be, Joanna gets to be the botanist she always wanted to be, and everybody's pretty happy. I like this book. Also, Felicity might be asexual, but she's still romantic, so that's lovely. And her romance side seems to drift towards women, which is pretty cool. Didn't go where I thought it was going to go. I thought she was just going to get what she wanted, but, you know, I also thought that Monty was going to get what he wanted, but that book also ended up being amazing. So, Monty and Percy also give me diabetes. They're so sweet and cute together. But, so the third book, it's coming out in December. I am very excited. Felicity and Percy, not Percy, Felicity and Monty have a little brother. This little brother was talked about at the beginning of the first book because he was crying because he was a baby. In the third book, their mother has died. Felicity and Monty do not know this, but Monty was always very partial to his mother and didn't like to disappoint her. Their little brother was not told that he had two older siblings, but he, like Monty, he's being crushed under the pressure that his dad is putting on him. So he just doesn't want to deal with it. He finds out that he has two older siblings and he goes to see Monty, and also there's something about something their mother left that they have to go claim. So Shipwrecks and Scandal comes out in December. I cannot wait. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah. You could subscribe if you feel like it. It'd make me happy though, if you did.